So some of y'all be trying to make it look cool, like being in a gang, or you know what I'm saying? Like my cousin from California, he would always like tell me, like, you know what I'm saying, like, don't be out here doing this type of stuff, you know what I'm saying, because I'm from Cali and I know what this is really like, you know what I'm saying, like, you gonna do what you do, you feel me? But like as an OG, he knew that I was smart, you know what I'm saying, and he wanted me to pursue school. That's how all the OGs in California are, you know what I'm saying? And so he was always like trying to tell me like, hey, you know what I'm saying, like, you got too much potential, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I'm saying. That's the difference in like OGs versus like crash dummies, you know, like young crash dummies, you know, people, it ain't even just young, just because I know some people that in their 50s that still out here trying to act like they out here, you know what I'm saying, like in these streets because they think it's cool. You know what I'm saying? You in your 50s or 40s or 30s still trying to prove to people that live in the street life, you know what I'm saying, is cool. That's not how I got into the street life. That's not how I got into that. You know what I'm saying? I was raised up without a father. And the men that did come into my life, they wasn't like beneficial, other than my godfather, financially beneficial. You know what I'm saying? But like he left this earth really early when I was really young. You know what I'm saying? So the men that came into my life, you know, was never really father figures. You know, I had to pick and choose what the positive characteristics that I liked in each person. You know what I'm saying? So like, I used to get bullied. I was one of the top 3 students in school. I was a nerd, man. I was a nerd. I was smart. You know what I'm saying? I was one of the top 3 students in the school. And like I said, I used to get bullied and picked on. And that is how I got involved in gangs. I didn't get involved in gangs to be cool or nothing like that. It wasn't that. The gang stepped in. I didn't choose that life. The gang stepped in and protected me from the bullies. That's how we became cool. That's how we became friends. You see what I'm saying? So that's really what it was. Like, they just didn't like to see people get, you know what I'm saying, like people being mistreated. See what I'm saying? So that's how I got into that. It wasn't like, oh, I want to be cool, I want to be down, I want to be hard. But you know what I'm saying, from that point on, you know, I mean, I started doing what they was doing, you know. But I was young. Something about 11, 12, 13 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really understand the severity, I guess, of what I was getting myself into. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't until, you know, I was really like away from that life, something about way down the line, until, you know, I really was like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying, now I'm starting to kind of understand like what this is about. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, for those of y'all out there that try to make that type of lifestyle seem cool, it's a lot of people that don't get into gangs to seem cool. It's a lot of people that don't get into their life because they want to. You understand what I'm saying? I was the smallest one in the pack. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was the smallest one in the pack. I was raised up in the church. My grandma raised me up in the church. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I said, it's a lot of y'all, man, still in y'all 20s and 30s and well, I shouldn't even say 20s, but like when you get to your mid 20s, you really should be thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing, that's the good thing about me, is because I was in the streets so early, 11 years old, 12 years old, 13 years old, when I turned 18, 17, 18 years old, I wasn't even doing that no more. I was focused on getting a job. So it's a lot of y'all that didn't start running the streets till y'all 20s. So that's why a lot of y'all got criminal backgrounds and all that. Like, I did all my dirt as a juvenile, underage. You see what I'm saying? So once you become 18, if you still out here, you know what I'm saying, living that life and doing that stuff, you taking way more risk and chances. I'm not encouraging anybody under the age of 18 to go out and do bad. What blows my mind is y'all think y'all have this y'all have been brainwashed to think that being bad, you know what I'm saying, and running the streets is cool. But I'm gonna tell you something, gangsters don't live long, man. They really don't. And like I say, if you in your late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and you still out here acting like it's so cool to bang, like I say, to each his own, teach his own. I ain't here trying to tell nobody what to do or nothing like that, but you know, everybody participates for different reasons. Everybody, forgive me, everybody does what they do for different reasons. So I can't sit up here and be like, oh, everybody that's banging is a bad person. No, because the people that I ran with, they wasn't always like, yeah, they did stuff, you know, but like they was the real deal, but they wasn't just like, you look at Mo3, for example, or any rappers out of Houston, Texas that, you know, are affiliated like that. Like Mo3 wasn't always a bad person. You understand what I'm saying? He did a lot of good. You know, look at Nipsey Hussle, for example. Nipsey Hussle was not always a bad person. He was just raised up in that environment. You feel me? So as he got wiser and older and more mature, he was like, man, I really see the bigger picture now. You know what I'm, and that's what most of the OGs from Cali, you know what I'm saying, that's how they are, because like Cali is real. A lot of these people that be talking about they be banging and stuff, they really don't. That's why they still try to do it, because bro, if you've been living a life all your life of killing, your people getting killed, and you know what I'm saying, you killing people, it come to a point where you like, man, this roadway, this pathway leads to death. You feel what I'm saying? It leads to death. And there's not much good that comes out of this. So y'all that be trying to bang, and you still want to live, like you still, you know what I'm, like, it doesn't even really make sense. Now, like I said, everybody's different. Some people bang to be protected, but you got to understand, what about when your protection is not around? That's one thing that I was always thinking about. I was like, it feels weird to be protected at all times, you know what I'm saying, because, or it feels weird to be protected by somebody else, because you ain't always with them people. You understand what I'm saying? It's gonna come a point to when you by yourself, you know what I'm saying? So now it's like, okay, what you gonna do? So like I said, a group of people stepped in, or a gang stepped in on my behalf, because I was being bullied. That's why I'm telling y'all, all gangsters, you know what I'm saying, are not bad people. You know, it was a little Asian dude. This is back, man. This is back in the night, and this dude was smaller than me, which was funny. But because I'm a nerd, you feel me? He saw I'm gonna take advantage of this dude. You know what I'm saying? We in the cafeteria lunch line, and dude he was trying to bully me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like what this dude on? Like what's wrong with him? Like why is he picking on me? And it just blew my mind though, because he was shorter than me. He was shorter than me, but I could tell that he worked out. You know what I'm saying? Because at first when I saw how short he was, I'm looking like, You know what I'm saying? Like, but then when I seen, you know, like the energy that he was bringing, and how built he was, he really wanted to pick a fight with me. But that's what I'm saying. Bullies only pick on people that don't want to mess with them. Big or small, a bully is a bully. So that's what I'm saying. Like, to this day, like, one of my homeboys out of Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland, and he the same way. Like, he does not like seeing people get bullied. You know, he don't really like, you know what I'm saying, like, just be getting off into stuff, but he does not like seeing people get bullied. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way that I am. I don't like that. Like, my mom's husband is a bully. He a big bully though. He say 360 pounds, 6 foot. I think he like 6'1", 6'2", something like that. Like, he's a real bully. You know what I'm saying? He fights women. You know what I'm saying? Everybody he fight is like 140, 150, 160. You know what I'm saying? Like, he won't fight nobody his size or bigger, but he'll fight people smaller than him. You feel what I'm saying? And I can't respect that, because that's not what a gangster is. A gangster don't go around picking on people, bullying people. You know what I'm saying? That's just not what it is. You know, that's just not what it is. A real gangster, a mature gangster. When I say a real gangster, I'm talking about, like, when you got the gangsters that, you know, that was raised up, like let's say, for example, they mama or they grandma, you know what I'm saying, was like in the church, and they was raised up by their mama or their grandma, you know what I'm saying, and or shoot, it could even be their dad, but if their dad was a church person, you see what I'm saying? Like, so they have the spirit of God in them, but they still was raised up, you know, in this environment, you know, or their life went down a certain path. For example, I look back on my life all the time, and I be asking God, like, why did my life go the way that it went? You feel me? Like, I was a straight A student, like I was, you know, like, I had so much going for myself, you know, and like I say, mess around and start messing around with drugs and stuff at 11 years old, and I didn't know what was coming. I didn't really understand the fullness of what I was getting myself into, you know. But yeah, just as I got older, it just felt weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just felt weird, like being protected by other people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with being protected by other people, but I feel like you got God, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's enough. You know what I'm saying? And you know, as I got older, like I said, that's why I'm glad I was raised up in the church, because I know a lot of people, it's a lot of people that's out here banging and stuff like that, and that's the only church that they done never had, was the streets. You feel me? So that's all they know, you know. Yeah, for me, it was different, you know. So I thank God for that. I'm not where I want to be, you know, but I'm doing a lot better. Even if I don't have nothing, even if I lose everything, I'm still doing a lot better mentally and spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Compared to, like, most people. If you got this, you can, no matter how many times you fall, you can rebuild and start again. You feel me? So yeah, man, I'm just glad I always had my grandma, you know what I'm saying, to teach me like I say, my cousin, like, he knew more than what I knew about the streets. And he was always trying to, like, lace me up on game, like, you know, like, do you really, I'ma open your eyes to what really goes on out here, you know. And yeah, My grandma was always on me. But that's why I like Nipsey Hussle, because, you know, my grandma or the church or anybody that's on the outside looking in can always say, hey, don't do this because that's wrong, or don't do this because that's wrong. But when you have somebody on the inside that's from that type of lifestyle to speak to you, it has a way different meaning. Like when Nipsey Hussle, you know what I'm saying, like stopped, you know, was telling his people that worked, he to stop smoking while they was working for him. He was like, I don't let nobody, you know, that work for me like smoke. You know what I'm saying? Because you're more productive. And he stopped smoking. I ain't gonna, he said he didn't stop smoking period. I guess he still smoked, but like for the most part, you know, he was maturing. You know, he was seeing the benefit of you know, having a clear mind. You know, and I hate to say this, but most people that I know that smoke, they like smoking. It's like it brings you all these ideas. They have all these ideas, but most of them cannot put it into action. You can smoke and think of all the brilliant ideas. But what good is having all them ideas if you don't have the drive, you know what I'm saying, to put that into the universe, or put that into reality, like to make what's up here come, you know what I'm saying, come into I was gonna say tuition, but you know what I'm saying, to make that come into like reality. And that's the difference. Like most people that I know, man, they have all these, most people that I know that smoke or have seen have all these brilliant ideas, you know, but they still need help, you know, or they still have to go to somebody, you know, to be able to make what's up in here come into reality, you know. So I don't know, man. The coca leaf, for example, grows from the ground. In those parts of the world, it is considered a sacred plant or whatever. So people be like, oh well, because weed grows from the ground, you know, it's coming from God. The coca leaf grows from the ground too. So the only reason y'all don't do it over here in the US is because it's banned in the US. If it wasn't banned in the US, y'all would be on the coca leaf. Just speaking it real, because y'all's argument is because it grows from the ground, it comes from God. The coca leaf grows from the ground. So that's not a really good argument unless you okay with being on the coca leaf. Y'all would be on Mary Jane and the coca leaf. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I feel like, you know, drugs messed up my life. Drugs messed up my stepdad's life. You know what I'm saying? Drugs have messed up my mom's second husband's life. He hasn't worked a solid job for 20-something years, and he always blaming somebody else, or looking for handouts, or blaming somebody else for, you know what I'm saying, like the way that his life is going. Or, you know what I'm saying, like everybody around that man gets off their rear end, you know what I'm saying, and does something productive. He the only one that doesn't do anything productive. Then he'd be like, y'all better respect me. Ain't nobody disrespecting you, for one. For two, what are you to respect? You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's disrespecting you, but also, what are you to respect? You let your wife go to work and sweat till her health is running to the ground. For years, my mama has worked that same job for 40 years. And you've been sitting on your behind for over 20 years. That's not a man. That's not a man. I'm sorry. Can't nobody respect that. But don't nobody disrespect you. But for somebody who coming at other people aggressively and feeling like somebody owe you something. Don't nobody owe you nothing. And the old me, man, my mama, man, that dude, my mama husband, that dude, he don't know me. He didn't meet me until I was 14 years old. So he don't even know that side of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not bragging on it or nothing like that, but I'm just saying he claimed that he's still this gangster because he got 4 gold teeth in his mouth, so he let that go to his head. Come on, bro. Like, I peep bull crap. You can talk about you a gangster all day and all night. I like what Mozzie said. Mozzie said, how you a gangster and you ain't never been to California? Because them the real gangs out there. Them the real gangs out there. How you a gangster and all you do is sit in the house and play video games and watch YouTube all day? You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm saying people talk big and bad from a safe place. And in Cali, you know what I'm saying? Like, the way that you gotta be the same one, like, all the way around. Whether it's a safe place or around a bunch of killers. You got to be that same way all the time. But who was it? It was Pop Smoke, I think. Pop Smoke said, tough dudes don't act tough with tough dudes. And that's real. They act tough. They pick and choose their battles. They act tough with who they want to. And then when they get around tough dudes, oh, they want to be cool with them. You want to be cool because you feel like you a tough dude and you fit in. Tough dudes don't act tough with tough dudes. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you really sit back and peep, you'll peep a lot of, like, how people really are. Like, I know my mama husband. I know him. I know him better than he know me. But he think he know me, but he don't. That's why he always be asking me, like, you good? You all right? What's wrong with you? Because he just doesn't have the mental capacity to have, like, his common sense. Like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. He just doesn't have the common sense. And I hate to speak negative, but it's just, some people just, man, ever since I was 14, I've noticed weird things about him. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't until I got older that I realized, like, everything that I was thinking about him when I was young was real, was true. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that based off anything but his actions. The way that he treats people. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's crazy because all my siblings been saying the same thing about him from the jump, as far as I can remember. And I was always the only one on our side of the family that was like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Nah, like, and then my siblings might speak to him, you know what I'm saying? But they don't, just because, like me, I speak to him, not no more, but I speak to him, but, like in the past, but just because I speak to you don't mean that I really rock with you like that, don't mean I really trust you like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he felt, because he can't read me, he can't understand me. You only read what I give you to read. You know what I'm saying? He just one of them people that always think he right. Try to belittle people and put people down and bully people. Like, come on, man. Like, you really ain't out there in them streets. Because if you was really out there in them streets, you'd be in the grave. Like, and that's just facts. Like, the way that you treat me and people and bully people, you go try to bully them people out there in the streets. See how far you make it. You wouldn't be the age that you are right now. I'm telling you. But that's why I'm saying, you look at somebody like Nip. Nip out here trying to build up the community. You know what I'm saying? But when you dealing with people that's trying to prove, you still 50 something years old, you still trying to prove that you about that life, man, sit down somewhere. Because if you was about that life, your criminal background would be a lot longer than what it is. You know what I'm saying? You got a record for attempted murder back in your 20s or whatever it was. And you try to act like, oh, because, you know what I'm saying, I got a record for attempted murder, I'm certified, I'm a certified street person. Anybody can do that. Anybody can get a record for murder. You don't have to be a street dude. It's scary people. It's scary people that get records for murder. That don't mean they a street person. You know what I'm saying? Like look at the crazy you know, kids under 25 that go into these schools and these Walmarts and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? Like that, you don't have to be a gangster to do that. Anybody can do that. Somebody can do that out of fear. A scary person can do that out of fear. They don't have to be a gangster. But just, you know what I'm saying, just because you have attempted murder on your record, you feel like you a gangster. It's just because you got 4 gold teeth in your mouth, you think you a gangster. It's so many people with 4 gold teeth in their mouth that work with the laws, that are snitches. You know what I'm saying? And out of all the people that I know that claim to be street, he the only one I know that will call the police for every little thing. But he a gangster. You can be a dope boy. He talk about how much dope he sold. You can be a dope boy and still be a snitch. You see what I'm saying? And then his alibi is he don't call the police. That my mama called the police. No. Here's the thing. My mama don't have no say-so in her own house, and she pay all the bills in there. He disrespects my mama, tries to pimp my mama. You know what I'm saying? And my mama has no say-so in her own house. So it's like, there's no way that my mama would call the police without you telling her to do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying, like, a lot of these people that be talking about they gangsters, they really don't be. They really don't be. And a lot of people that still be in their 50s trying to glorify their street life, most of them have not really lived the street life. Because in the street life, it's going to be a lot of people dead. It's going to be a lot of people in your family dead. And you're going to be doing a lot of killing. Not just one time in your life. You see what I'm saying? Like you look at Boosie. Boosie told his son, you know what I'm saying, like, not to be getting involved in it. That's what I'm saying. The OGs be telling the youth, like, don't get involved in that, because I know what that life is about, and that's not you going down a deadly dead end. And that's why I'm saying, like, for those that still be trying to prove themselves and all that, like y'all really not out here living that life. Because don't nobody that really know what that life is about trying to pull people that they love into that life, or trying to, you know what I'm saying, still trying to, because think about it. If, for example, my mama husband, if he claimed to be so gangster, like, the problem, the scary thing about that is you're bringing that around my mama, my sisters, your kids. So that's what I'm saying. Anybody that knows what the street life is about is not going to bring that type of like, you don't want to be known in the streets for that. That's what I'm saying. That's a young person's game. When you don't got kids, and you know what I'm saying? Like, everything, he don't have nothing in his name. Everything that he do everything is in my mama's name. So if he do go out and commit a crime, you know what I'm saying, or doing illegal stuff, you doing it, you giving my mama a bad name. Like, what kind of, that's what I'm saying. You're nothing to respect. What kind of man are you? My mama worked so hard to build something legally and positive. And you do everything in your power to use her resources to you know what I'm saying, tear it down. Like when he was cheating on my mama, using her car, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, using her car to go be with somebody else. Like, you're nothing to respect. But I don't disrespect you because that, like, my mama, she choose who she want to be with. You know what I'm saying? But I just could never I've always tried to be a positive light to him. You know what I'm saying? I've always tried to be a positive role model to him. That's one of the main reasons why I go around. Really, that's not even why I go around. I go around because of my mama. You know what I'm saying? Because that's my mama. I want to see my mama. I don't really go around for him. When my mama health was failing her, you know what I'm saying? Like, if something would have happened to my mama, there's no reason for me to come around you after that. I have no connection with you other than my sisters. But you're not even a fit father. Like, it just blows my mind that you got kids and you still want to sit in the house on the video game. Like I said, playing the video game is better than being out in the streets. But you still claim to be in the streets. You still claim to be this street dude. So what? Like, you ain't saying nothing. You talking about you played a video game because you're not in the streets no more. But how long we gonna play the video game? You been playing video game 20 years. How long you gonna play the video game? That should be like a stepping stone. I mean, yeah, I did the same thing. Like, I came off the streets and, you know, came in the house and, you know, got back in the church and, you know, doing things that wasn't in the streets. But that's like a stepping stone. How long do you stay at you don't stay at first grade for the rest of your life. You still in elementary. You still stuck on video game. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a man. Now, if you have done something with your life and you want to, like, you work a job and you want to go buy a video game, then that's you have the right to do whatever you do. That's your money. You work for that, you know. But when you're not taking care of your priorities, you understand what I'm saying? And everybody else around you, all your kids, quote unquote, who you call your kids, everybody up under you, you know what I'm saying, get off their rear end every day and go tries to, you know what I'm saying, like work to put food in their mouth. You don't work to put food in your mouth. You don't work to put food in your mouth. And then you think that everybody is gonna be mad when you finally get a job or when you finally get your driver's license. Like, nobody's gonna be mad. We're gonna be happy that you finally got off your rear end and finally did something, because we are the ones that my mama called, you know what I'm saying, when her light bill is sky high, because you are not contributing. But you a man though. You a gangster though. You a hustler though. You talk about how much dope you sold, you know what I'm saying, like, back in the streets. Like, but if you look at all the OGs that sold dope back in the day, and they never stopped hustling. They just switched their hustle up. You look at Bun B, you look at, you know what I'm saying, Lil Kiki, you look at Nipsey Hussle, you look at, like, you know what I'm saying, like, Nipsey Hussle even talked about, like, how it was a very bad moment for him when he stopped hustling, because he said, like, I think for years, you know what I'm saying, he just felt like a failure, because he stopped, you know what I'm saying, like, selling dope in the streets and all that, and trying to pursue this music, like, really taking all his money and investing that into his music, and buying his studio and all that. Like, and that's what I'm saying, that's what real OGs do. They mature. The ones who still out here trying to promote the street life, like I say, it's one thing to be in it and trying to get out. It's another thing to, you really don't have a reason to be in it, but you still trying to prove that you in it. Because you want to prove to other people that I'm about that life. It's people that are really still about that life. And they not there because they want to be. That's why I say I never, like all my homeboys, most of them, they got a long record of criminal backgrounds. I was fortunate enough not to have that. I had my grandma. I had positive role models around me. You know what I'm saying? Some people, like my homeboys, a lot of them didn't really have a lot of positive role models. When your whole family is certified bangers, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have more negatives than positives, you know? And I had a lot of negatives, but it wasn't like nobody in my family was really like banging to that extent. You know what I'm saying? Was really like in the dope game to that extent. You know, they might have dipped and dabbed and mingled, you know what I'm saying, in it, or hung around people that was in it, or did a little dirt here and there. But, you know what I'm saying, like, it wasn't like my homeboys. You know what I'm saying? Now, my people in my family, their homeboys might have ran with some homeboys that was really out there like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, our family, just as far as I know, they wasn't really like that, except for my cousin that was born in Cali. But yeah, man, it just blows my mind that you older than Jesus, and you still out here, you still haven't learned your lesson. You know what I'm saying? You still out here trying to bang and stuff, man. Come on with that, man. It's crazy. I can take you to the water, but I can't make you drink.